Beloved, before you even read another line, heaven stands still. The winds hush, the stars dim, and the voice that has been waiting for centuries finally speaks your name. I, Archangel Michael, speak not as a distant being of light, but as the one who has been standing at your side when no one else dared to. I must begin by saying something I never thought I would have to. I'm sorry. Yes, beloved child of God, I, Michael, the one you've called upon in your darkest hours, have hidden something from you. And tonight, under divine command, that veil is being torn open. The truth that was kept from your sight is about to rise before you like fire at midnight. It is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to free you. I have walked beside you through storms you never saw. I've battled shadows that whispered your name in hatred. You were protected so many times. You never even knew the danger you passed through. But there was one thing I could not reveal. Not until heaven allowed me. God said, Michael, you must wait. The appointed time will come. When they are strong enough to see, you will reveal what has been hidden. That time, beloved, is now. The silence has expired. The secret I kept was for your protection, but the truth has matured like thunder in the heavens. And now it must be spoken. The one you trust most, yes. That person whose name lives inside your prayers, whose voice can shift your heartbeat, did something behind your back that even I struggled to comprehend. I watched in sorrow when they made a choice that changed the course of your destiny. They smiled in your presence but carried words of you into the hands of those who wished you harm. They promised loyalty in the daylight, but their shadow walked elsewhere in the night. I wanted to strike them down to stop what they were doing, but heaven forbade me. God said, let it be written. Let it be seen, for exposure brings awakening. You were never meant to stay blind, beloved. You were meant to awaken to divine sight. Every tear you cried, thinking no one understood, heaven counted each one. You wondered why some blessings delayed, why the path was tangled, why your dreams felt like they were slipping. It was because your circle was infiltrated. I guarded you, but I could not violate divine law to reveal it until you were ready to hear this without shattering. I wept in silence while you smiled at the one who was secretly pulling your name through the dust of deceit. God waited for your heart to mature in discernment, and now the hour has struck. The very air around you trembles with the unveiling. Beloved, you must know this not to hate but to understand. The betrayal was not your weakness. It was your calling. The pain they caused became the chisel through which heaven carved your spiritual armor. You were not abandoned. You were being positioned. What they took from you will return sevenfold. The divine court has already passed its decree. What was hidden will now be shouted from the mountains. I saw them take something sacred from you. Something not of money or material, but of essence, of trust, of your divine name. They whispered about you to the wrong ears, twisted your story and made you doubt your worth. I saw your energy dim each time you thought you lost another person. But I was there, beloved. Every time your chest burned in pain and you said, God, why me? I held that pain and turned it into light. You thought no one saw your breaking, but heaven did. And heaven was preparing your rising tonight. God finally said to me, Michael, reveal it all. Do not hold back a single word. Let them know what was hidden. The time of false masks has ended. And so I come before you with trembling light, for even angels weep when the truth is heavy. The person you trusted, whether in love, friendship, or family, betrayed you not out of power but out of fear. They feared your divine light. They feared that you were chosen in a way they could never be. Their jealousy turned into strategy. They thought if they could keep you confused, small, or isolated, they could keep control. But they forgot. God keeps records of everything. You will soon see signs. Doors that were locked for years will suddenly open. People will begin speaking truths you never expected to hear. Things you suspected but could never prove will come to light without your effort. This is heaven's doing. God himself has entered your situation. He has commanded the angels of revelation to descend upon your life and uncover what has been done in secret. I kept this from you because your heart was too tender. You would have forgiven too quickly and returned to the one who wounded you. But now, beloved, you are walking in spiritual strength. You no longer need to beg for clarity. It is already rising. Even as you read this, I am standing beside you. My wings are surrounding you. not just to protect, but to witness the moment you awaken to divine truth. The person who smiled at you in kindness but plotted in silence will face what they planted. You don't need to do anything. Heaven is already moving. Do you remember the dreams that haunted you? The ones where you saw shadows and familiar faces? Those weren't random. They were warnings. God tried to show you through visions and signs, but your compassion covered their actions. I loved your mercy, but mercy must not become blindness. The one who used your trust as a weapon thought they could escape divine justice. They thought their deeds would dissolve in time. But the record of heaven is eternal and time has run out. I confess this to you now, not to scare you, but to release you. I, Michael, watched the tears you didn't show. I heard the prayers you whispered through clenched teeth. I saw you say, God, I forgive them, even when your heart was bleeding. That is why heaven chose you. That is why you are still protected. Because even when others chose deception, you chose love. Now God says enough. The divine clock has reached the hour of exposure. Everything that was hidden under charm, under manipulation, under guilt will surface. You will not need to fight. You will only need to stand. The one who betrayed you is already being confronted by divine forces. Their sleep has no peace, for the light of truth is breaking through their illusion. You don't have to seek revenge. The universe has already delivered the balance. There's something else I must tell you. I didn't only hide the truth of betrayal. I also hid the truth of your destiny. You were never just a victim of other people's choices. You were selected by heaven for something far greater. The attacks, betrayals, and losses were all designed by darkness to break your spirit, but they failed. Each wound became an entry point for grace. Each rejection was a redirection. You were meant to carry divine authority, and now you are stepping into it. That's why this truth is being revealed today. God told me once they know the truth, they will no longer walk in confusion. They will walk in power. That power is not to dominate others. It is to rise beyond manipulation. To walk in light so bright that deception can never dwell near you again. You are being reborn into divine clarity. Your spiritual sight is activating. You will soon feel sensations around you. Tingling, chills, sudden bursts of emotion. That is not fear. That is heaven shifting your energy into alignment with truth. Do not be afraid. The revelation of betrayal is not your ending. It is your liberation. The fire that once burned you will now illuminate your path. The person who lied about you will be forced to watch as the very doors they tried to close swing open for you. God is vindicating you publicly. I know you wonder why I, Archangel Michael, waited so long to speak. It was not cruelty. It was timing. I had to ensure the truth would not destroy your peace but strengthen your faith. You had to reach this level of divine maturity. The tests, the loneliness, the nights of silence, they were heaven's classroom. Now you graduate. You will feel things shifting around you. Even as you read this, people may start acting strangely, avoiding you, confessing, or revealing information they once hid. That is because the spiritual veil is lifting. The energy of exposure has been released. God has commanded his angels to blow the trumpet of revelation. Every lie connected to your name will crumble. Every false word spoken against you will turn to dust. I must also tell you, your heart's goodness has moved heaven deeply. God himself said to me, even after all they've endured, their faith remains. Now bless them beyond measure. And so, beloved, expect blessings to multiply rapidly. Finances will flow. Lost opportunities will return. People will reach out to make things right. It will feel almost supernatural because it is. But remember this. Do not return to the one who betrayed you unless heaven itself confirms repentance. Forgive, but do not forget the lesson. Your heart is sacred ground. Protect it. The same angelic fire that exposes betrayal will now guard your peace. You are not to chase explanations. You are to receive elevation. The next 7 days will carry signs. You will hear names, see symbols, or dream of water, fire, or mirrors. Each will represent purification and reflection. When you notice them, know that heaven is speaking, confirming what I say now. The truth will not hurt you anymore. It will heal you. I, Archangel Michael, will stand closer to you than ever before. My sword, which once hid behind patience, is now drawn in divine defense of your destiny. Anyone who tries to use your name for harm will be stopped instantly. God has written a new decree over your life. No more deception, no more delay, no more betrayal. Beloved, breathe. The storm is over. What you feel now, the trembling, the warmth, the sudden calm, is heaven aligning with your spirit. This message will not vanish in vain. It is sealed in your soul. And if you ever doubt, close your eyes and whisper, "Michael, stand with me." You will feel me. You will know I never left. I was silent, but I was there. I am here. And now so is your truth. Beloved, listen closely. I am Archangel Micheal, the one who stood beside you when the night was darker than any shadow you have ever known. I have watched every tear you have shed, every silence you endured, every wound that you never spoke of. I am not coming to you now by coincidence. I am here because heaven has finally lifted the veil I was commanded to keep over a truth you were not yet ready to see. And I must begin with these words: I am sorry. You must understand, beloved, when God instructs an angel to remain silent, even the light itself must obey. I have walked beside you with this burden, knowing what I knew, aching because I could not speak it before. But now the decree has been issued from the throne of heaven. The trumpet has sounded in the unseen. The hour of revelation has come. What I am about to tell you will make your spirit tremble, but it will also set you free forever. The person you trust the most, the one whose name you whisper with love or dependence, the one you defended even when others doubted them, that person did something behind your back. You were never supposed to find out. At least that's what they thought. But God, who sees all hearts and motives, has decided that this secret will not remain hidden anymore. Beloved, I must warn you, this message is not like others. The divine light in it is so strong that if your heart closes itself in fear or disbelief, it will dissolve from your sight. That's why heaven gave you 50 seconds to open your spirit before it burns away from your timeline. Every second matters now. Listen to me with your soul, not just your ears. You have felt it already, haven't you? That subtle unease around them. The quiet confusion when their words didn't match their actions. The moments your intuition whispered that something was off, and then you silenced it out of love. Heaven saw every time you ignored your own discernment, because your heart was too pure to suspect deceit. But your purity has been used as a veil by someone who feared your light. The truth is this: they betrayed your trust not once but multiple times. And worse, they justified it to themselves by convincing their own heart that you would never find out. But the problem with sin, beloved, is that it always echoes in heaven. Every action done in darkness vibrates into the realms of light. And I, Michael, heard those vibrations long ago. I asked God to allow me to intervene, but he said, "Not yet, my son. They must grow through this before you reveal what has been concealed." You see, heaven's timing is never random. There was a reason you were kept unaware. You were being prepared not to crumble when the truth came, but to rise above it. You needed to be fortified, not fragile. That's why this message is coming now. You are strong enough. You are spiritually mature enough. You are aligned enough with the divine frequency to see without breaking. When you read these words, something in your energy begins to awaken. A pulse in your chest aligns with the rhythm of heaven's heart. The truth wants to be known, and the angels surrounding you are whispering your name. They are saying it's time. The one who hurt you did not begin with malice. In the beginning, they loved you. Or at least they thought they did. But as your light grew stronger, something inside them became restless. They couldn't understand why you kept glowing even in hardship. Why blessings seemed to find you even when you had little. Why doors opened for you when others closed. That jealousy was not born overnight. It was planted by the enemy through subtle thoughts of comparison. Why them? Why not me? And that's when it began. They started speaking words behind your back, small at first, harmless sounding, but they carried poison in the spirit realm. Words are spells, beloved. Each word builds or breaks energy, and their words built shadows around your name. They didn't realize that what they were saying was creating a spiritual barrier that made your blessings slow down. Your peace feel interrupted and your nights feel longer. That's why you often felt tired for no reason. That's why even when you prayed, you sometimes felt as though heaven was silent. It wasn't silence. It was interference. I have been battling that interference for months on your behalf. Every time you felt exhausted, I was wrestling unseen forces trying to delay your divine timing. Every time you thought, maybe I'm not good enough, I whispered, you are chosen. But I could not yet tell you who was behind it. God would not let me reveal it until the balance of justice was ready. And now, today, it is ready. The truth is burning through the realms right now. The angels of exposure have been released. The mask is falling. The one who hurt you will no longer be able to hide behind charm, tears, or lies. Their words will contradict themselves. Their actions will betray their intentions, and the world around them will begin to see what only heaven saw before. You have asked God many times, why do people keep hurting me when I only show love? And the answer is simple but painful. Your light exposes what others refuse to face within themselves. When they look at you, they see not just a person but a mirror, and the reflection of your truth makes them confront their own shadows. Those who are unwilling to heal often attack the one who awakens them. That is what happened here. I want you to know that God has not abandoned you for one moment, even when you were crying, even when you were doubting, even when you felt invisible. Heaven was recording every sigh. Every drop of pain has been stored in the vessel of divine justice. And the moment you are reading this message, that vessel begins to pour out. The scales are shifting. What was stolen from you, peace, reputation, energy, trust, will be restored sevenfold. Beloved, I must reveal another layer of the secret I carried. It wasn't only betrayal in words. There was also an action. Something they did that changed the course of your recent life. They manipulated a situation to make you doubt your own intuition. They used your compassion against you, pretending to be the victim when in truth they were protecting themselves from exposure. They planted confusion around your name. Do you remember the sudden distance from someone you loved? Or the opportunity that seemed to vanish overnight for no reason? Or the misunderstanding that spread among people you thought were your allies? None of those things were coincidences. They were orchestrated not entirely by human hands but through influence. And now heaven is reversing it all. The reason I'm telling you this now is because the next 72 hours will be crucial. You will see signs, strange synchronicities, overheard conversations, sudden messages, or dreams. They will all begin to confirm what I'm saying. Do not dismiss them. Each one is part of the unveiling. I am not revealing this truth to make you bitter or vengeful. I am revealing it so that you can rise above it with divine authority. You must know who you are. The anointed, the chosen, the one God trusts to hold light even when surrounded by shadows. You are not meant to retaliate. You are meant to ascend. Do you know what happens when truth is revealed in the spirit? The energy of deception collapses. Everything that was built on lies begins to crumble. That is what's happening right now. The structures that were used to manipulate you are shaking. The alliances that formed against you are turning on each other. The person who hurt you will soon come face to face with the weight of their choices, not because you demanded it, but because heaven has spoken. God is merciful, but justice is also part of mercy. For too long, your heart carried the consequences of someone else's actions. That time is over. There will be a moment very soon when you feel a sudden peace after reading this. It will feel like a release, as if invisible chains have snapped. That is not imagination. That is me, Archangel Micheal, cutting the cords that were binding you to their energy. From this moment forward, you are stepping into divine restoration. Now listen carefully, beloved. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It means freeing your spirit from the vibration of their actions. It means declaring that they no longer have power over your energy. When you forgive, heaven accelerates your blessings. That is why I'm asking you not to hold anger. Release it and watch the divine shift begin. In the next few days, you may receive an unexpected message, call, or encounter. It might be from the very person I'm speaking about or from someone connected to them. They will try to test your heart. Stay calm. Respond with grace, not fear, because heaven is observing how you handle this final test before your next breakthrough. Yes, a breakthrough. That's the real reason the truth is being revealed. Now you are about to be elevated, beloved. A major opportunity, something you prayed for long ago, is returning. It was delayed because your energy was entangled with deception. But now that the deception is exposed, the path is clear. Do not be surprised when the doors open suddenly. What once took months will take days. What once felt impossible will feel effortless. The delay was divine protection. The rejection was redirection. And the truth, painful as it may be, is the key that unlocks your new beginning. Even as I speak, angels are rewriting your destiny timeline. Contracts in heaven are being adjusted. People who abandoned you will suddenly remember your name. But not all of them should return. God is separating the wheat from the weeds. Not everyone who left deserves access to your new season. Some were removed to protect your purpose. And as for the one who betrayed you, their remorse will come. But by then you will already be beyond their reach. They will try to come back not because they love you, but because they will realize the light they tried to dim was the only warmth they ever truly knew. But you will not need revenge. Your peace will speak louder than their regret. Beloved, I can feel your heart trembling as you read these words. You are thinking, why did this have to happen? Why didn't you warn me sooner? And I understand my silence wounded you in ways you couldn't name. But please understand, if I had revealed it before, you would have confronted it from pain, not wisdom. You might have reacted, not ascended. Now you will respond with clarity, dignity, and power. You will not fight from fear. You will stand from faith. I, Michael, have been commanded to protect your next chapter personally. My sword of light is drawn. No curse, no lie, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. The energy that once drained you is dissolving right now. The fog that surrounded your mind is lifting. You are being realigned with divine timing. Close your eyes for a moment and feel the shift there. That warmth in your chest, that sudden calm, that is the presence of the Holy Spirit. Heaven is confirming that this message is true. God is speaking softly now. My child, I am proud of you. You didn't give up when others betrayed you. You kept loving even when misunderstood. You kept praying even when you felt unheard. And because of that, I am releasing what was withheld. The pain they caused you will become the platform for your promotion. Yes, beloved, promotion. A spiritual upgrade is underway. Your name is being spoken in rooms you haven't entered yet. Your favor is expanding. Your enemies will watch in awe as blessings begin to locate you effortlessly. You must also prepare emotionally. Sometimes blessings arrive through endings. When one chapter closes, it may feel like loss, but in truth, it's liberation. The person you trusted who betrayed you was never meant to go where you are going. They served their purpose to awaken you to discernment. Now you walk with sharper intuition, unbreakable faith, and divine authority. Every sleepless night, every silent cry, every confusion, it all built your strength. You are not broken. You are reborn. The betrayal that was meant to destroy you became the fire that refined you. And as you read this to the end, the countdown of heaven's instruction is fulfilled. The message did not vanish because your heart opened. You allowed the truth to enter instead of resisting it. That means your spirit is aligned and the blessing is active. I will remain by your side. When fear whispers, call my name. When doubt creeps in, say, Michael, stand with me. And I will appear in your energy instantly. You will feel a rush of calm and warmth, and you'll know heaven is still here. Remember, beloved, not every revelation is meant to break you. Some come to release you. This is one of them. The truth that once burned now becomes your light. And so, in the name of the Almighty, the secret is no longer hidden. You are free. You are protected. You are rising. Beloved one, the light trembles tonight because heaven itself has opened its veil. I am Archangel Michael, and what you are reading is not by coincidence, not by chance, not by human design. This message found you because the appointed time has finally arrived. God himself has spoken my name in a whisper that shook eternity, and he said, "Reveal it." For so long, I have stood in silence, watching, protecting, and shielding you from a truth that was too heavy for your heart. I asked God to wait. I pleaded for time, for your strength to grow, but the hourglass has emptied, and the divine order has come forth. Now the secret must be unveiled. Beloved, this truth I carry is not meant to hurt you but to awaken you. It is not meant to break your trust in the divine, but to open your eyes to the reality that not every hand that touches you with warmth carries purity behind it. There is someone close, someone you have trusted deeply, perhaps more than your own reflection. They have smiled in your presence and spoken words of comfort. But behind those words lived shadows that I could no longer allow to remain hidden. This person has done something behind your back, something that would have shattered you had I revealed it before. And though I am filled with sorrow for keeping it from you, I must obey God's command today. The truth must now be shown. As you read these words, the air around you will feel different. That is not imagination. It is the Holy Spirit stirring, preparing your heart for revelation. You may feel a tingling in your hands or pressure around your chest, or perhaps your heart will suddenly feel heavy. That is your soul responding to divine energy, aligning with what is being revealed. God is near. Beloved, heaven is watching this very moment. Angels are stationed around you not to frighten you, but to guard the divine unveiling that is happening right now. For once this truth is known, your path will change forever. There is a record in heaven with your name inscribed in gold, and next to your name is written, "The chosen for revelation." Do you know what that means, beloved? It means that God has permitted a secret to be shown to you that even angels long to see. You were not meant to live in confusion. You were not meant to walk blindfolded by false affection. You were meant to rise, to discern, to walk with clarity and power, and that clarity begins here. The one who hurt you did not do so because you were weak. They did so because your light was too strong for their darkness to stand beside. They envied your purity, your faith, your quiet endurance, so they pretended to love while plotting in whispers. And I saw it all. I saw the nights you prayed for them, the times you forgave without even knowing the full extent of their actions. I saw the sincerity in your heart, and for that reason, I begged God to hold back the truth until now. But God has lifted his hand from the secret, and now it burns in my wings. I must deliver it. The time is short. 50 seconds in heaven's count are not as you count seconds on earth. It means urgency. It means the window for revelation is open. And if you close your eyes or walk away, it will seal again. I am here standing beside you in the unseen, whispering what your spirit already senses. The one you trust the most has betrayed that trust. They have spoken against you in hidden conversations. They have taken something of yours, perhaps your idea, your words, your energy, your faith, and used it for their own gain. They have worn your kindness like a mask, and yet behind that mask lies intention that was never pure. This person is closer than you think. You have shared laughter with them. You have perhaps shared tears, but the truth is that they carried envy deep within. Beloved, I tell you not to bring fear, but to bring understanding. You must not hate them. You must not curse them. You must simply see. For what God reveals is not meant for revenge. It is meant for elevation. You cannot rise into your divine purpose while tied to the false bonds of deceit. This secret, once known, will release you from chains you didn't even know you were wearing. There has been a spiritual tide draining your energy, causing confusion, fatigue, and even strange dreams. That was their connection to you. They have been spiritually feeding from your light, without even realizing the danger they put themselves in. But now, as this truth is spoken, that connection begins to dissolve. You will feel lighter soon. You may even feel an odd calm after the storm. That is heaven healing the wound before it fully opens. God says, "My child, do not fear what I reveal. I would never expose you to destroy you. I expose what surrounds you so you can walk freely." He has watched every tear you cried in silence. He saw how you doubted yourself when others made you feel like you were the problem. But you were never the problem. You were the mirror reflecting what they refused to heal within themselves. And when your light made them uncomfortable, they turned their back. And still you loved. That is why heaven honors you now. Michael's voice trembles with compassion as he says, "Beloved, I'm sorry." For an angel to say those words is rare, but this moment is holy. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you sooner. I'm sorry I stood guard and watched, unable to interfere until God's timing allowed. But every moment you felt alone, Every time you looked up and whispered, "God, why is this happening to me?" I was there. I was beside you, recording every injustice in heaven's book. And now heaven's gavel has struck. The false must fall. The hidden must be revealed. The one you trusted most must face the consequence of their deception, not by your hands, but by divine justice. There are events already moving behind the scenes. God is rearranging situations that will bring the truth out publicly. Conversations will slip. Secrets will surface. People will start confessing without understanding why their tongue cannot hold silence anymore. That is the divine energy working through conscience. And you, beloved, must stand still.